make a mistake, there's no going back. And with regular videos, there's so much editing, and if you like screw up or say the wrong thing, you have to make the just start the whole video again. So I'd rather just do this it as a live stream here for you on YouTube. Artistic James here, and today's video was a live stream. I'll be showing you my artwork I did from ages 15 till 2 hours 18. And these are drawings here I did from ages 15 to 16, from 2013 to 2014. Wait, no, I think it was 17 when I did my last drawing here. Yep, 17. 15 to 17. Most of them I did at 16. So let's have a look, shall we? I'm going to turn the camera around now, which you can't do on a regular video, at least on my iPhone. So it's easier to live stream this. Let's have a look at our first book. Did these on June 29th, 2013. And this is Beavis and Butthead, Mo from The Simpsons, Steve from American Dad, Rilo from The Cleveland Show, and Peter Griffin from Family Guy. Here's some more drawings I did. James Bond's Aston Martin, George W. Bush, Beavis and Butthead, Tim from The Cleveland Show. And back when I was a teenager, I used to do a lot of drawings of firearms. I did this sketch of an M1911 pistol when I was 15, and an AK-47 with a scope, and a Glock 19. And this is Professor Farnsworth from Futurama. Welcome into my live stream. I'm showing off my drawings I did when I was a teenager, and I did these when I was 15. And in this sketchbook, drawings I did when I was aged between 15 to 17. But most of them I did when I was 16. This is drawing I did of Christina Aguilera, sexy, and I had a crush on her back in 2013. And this is the best console in the world about PS4. Agreed, PlayStation is way better than Xbox in my opinion. And this is Ricky Gervais speaking to Marge on The Simpsons. I think this was a new... No, this Simpsons episode came on 2005 and did a sketch in 2013. And this is... Couldn't agree more with you, Jazz94 UK. And this is a drawing I did of Aston Martin. This is a drawing I did of Lady Gaga covered in bacon. One of my subscribers, AI, thinks so much saw all my artwork. I had an art book before this one, but I currently could not find it, so... This is the first art book I can find in my room that I'm going to show you all for my artwork. I haven't done much Family Guy drawings in a while, but this is a drawing I did of Pete Brian with a martini, Mr. Herbert, Peter Griffin as Christina Aguilera's manager, and Christina Aguilera licking herself, and Chris Raven. And there's a drawing of 2 airplanes. I used to do a lot of airplane drawings when I was 15, and I also did them 3 years later when I was 19 as well. This is a drawing I did of a Airbus A320, that does not have an air... These are not airlines, they're just types of planes, so they're not owned by an airline. This is the biggest passenger plane in the world, built in 2006, an Airbus A380. And this is from the song California Girls. Hello, Radio Mega. So I'm showing people on YouTube the drawings I did when I was a teenager, and this is part 1, 2013 to 2014. I was going to do this as a regular video, but it's just easier to do it as a live stream than as a regular video, because when doing it as a regular video, there's a lot of editing, and whenever you make a mistake, you just have to start it again. So I rather just do it live for everyone on YouTube. And this is my art book. Gets here in a minute, a couple of minutes after we showed you all these drawings. It was either 15 or 16 when I did these. I don't know, because I don't have a date. I think I was 16 when I did these drawings, just turned 16 in 2013, August 2013. Little Mix Girl and Christina Aguilera. Drawings of firearms. I used to do a lot of gun drawings back when I was 16. The Empire State Building in Manhattan, building 1941. Believe it or not, 3 years later, went there to New York. And I did these just after I turned 16. I was at this picnic with my church at the time. Congratulations, Radio Mixer. Everyone congratulate Radio Megastar and subscribe to his channel. My YouTube channel now has, this YouTube channel here now, thank you so much for liking the live stream. Now has, how many subscribers? I think 715. Drew a 737 Ryanair airplane. These are all drawings I did when I was 16, back in 2013. Thanks, Emerald Armstrong. Mods, 1880s double barrel shotgun. Bart Simpson, George Bush Senior, also known as George H.W. Bush. And this is a A319 EasyJet and A340 300 Turkish Airlines. I've completely forgot I did these drawings when I was 16. And I flew with Turkish Airlines when I went to Turkey in 2007, just before I turned 10. I celebrated my 10th birthday the first time in Turkey. And some more drawings of airplanes over here for you. And some more drawings of firearms. Welcome into my live stream, Amaral Armstrong. Are you from England like I am? And there's Stan, and there's... It's Christina Errors Lyrics. We got a voice box. When the episode where Roger became obsessed with Haley, when that episode came on in 2013, same year I did the drawing. Steve, dressed up for the Vietnam War. Christina Aguilera, pink, sexy. Yeah, I used to always love to draw sexy celebrities when I was a teenager. James Bond, I remember doing these drawings back when I was a teen. Sean Connery, George Lunsby, Roger Moore, Timothy Dalton, Pierce Brosnan, and Daniel Craig. I did this drawing of Marge as a cop, and Simpsons alien, Kang or maybe Kodos. I'm not sure which one's Kang and which one's Kodos. I'm just going to have a drink, sip on my tea, and here's the old design of the United Airlines, and this is a DC-10. And this is a Virgin Atlantic Boeing 747. I'm going to have a sip of my tea for you guys. I'm trying to get this stand open. It's good to go through old artwork. I'm so glad that AI Thing suggested this. Especially how long this video is going to be, it's best to do it as a live stream. Here's a drawing I did of the Rhode Island flag, and I have a Rhode Island flag in my room that I had since I was 12. And it's up here for you guys. And here's a drink I did of coffee and tea arguing with each other, and I did all these drawings at 16. And here's James May from Top Gear. And there's Roger from American Dad, Haley from American Dad, and Steve. Here's two drawings of vehicles, and this is must have been Christina Aguilera, since I had a course on at the time. Yeah, I have done some drawings of Air Force One at the time. And this is from a Simpsons DVD cover I got on my 16th birthday. And here's a drawing of Weirdo Yankovic, and I'm a really big fan of his music. And I found out just a couple of years ago that he's also a vegetarian like I am, Weirdo Yankovic, which is awesome. And I discovered him and I became a huge fan of his music back in 2013, just after I turned 16. And I did this drawing of Weirdo Yankovic. Not long after, I became a huge fan of his music. Here's a drawing I did of an Uzi pistol, M9 Beretta, and an AK-47. Welcome into my live stream. I'm showing you guys old drawings I've drawn when I was aged between 15 to 17 from this art book, and 17 to 18 in this sketchbook here. I'm going to show you these ones first. All these drawings here I've drawn when I was 16. Not so, probably the AK-47 or the Glock or the revolver. What about yours, DAS 94 UK? And I did this when I was in Spain, in Mallorca. Went there in August of 2013 when I was 16. And I drew that from my hotel room. The Mallorca, Spain lighthouse from my hotel room. And I vaguely remember doing the sketch. And here's a drawing I did of Glenn Quagmire as a pilot. I would love to be an airline pilot, I would. The only problem is you need to go to university and study art and take a lot of flying lessons to become an airline pilot. And there's Peter Griffin from the 1600s when he sailed to the New World from England to America. Here's a drawing I did of Mount Rushmore. Here's a drawing I did at the time of Steve from American Dad being beaten up and a nickel and a quarter. At the time when I was 16, I wrote it down as 25 cents, which probably didn't know at the time. Because at 19, when I did quarters, I drew them as quarters. But at 16, I drew them as just 25 cents. AK is a classic too, yeah, a great old Soviet firearm. And this is a drawing I did of the Statue of Liberty. And here's a drawing I did of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States of America, who wrote the Declaration of Independence. And here's a drawing I did of Jimmy Carter, the 99th president of the United States. And here's a drawing I did of a pump action shotgun at the time. And all the rest of American Dad characters like Stan, Klaus, Haley, and Francine. And here's a drawing here I did of an AK-47. And here's a M9 tactical firearm. This is a handgun. And this is an M16 assault rifle. And these are the firearms. I'm not sure, to be honest. But I do have, like, it's not the real copy, but I had this for years now, Declaration of Independence. What would it look like in my room? This is the same firearm the US military have been using since either the 1960s or 70s. Hello, welcome into my live stream. I'm showing people on YouTube join today live when I was aged between 16 to 18. And all these drawings here are drawings I did when I was 16. Here's a drawing of the White House, the Washington Monument, both in Washington, D.C. And here are the Bill of Rights. And here's, remember doing this one. I'm showing people on my secondary school. Freedom of speech, the First Amendment. Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. The Third Amendment, quarantining of soldiers. The Fourth Amendment, arrests on searches. The Fifth Amendment, right of persons accused of crimes twice. Right of persons accused of crimes twice cannot be done. Thank you so much, that's 94 UK. I really appreciate it. Right of persons of trial for crimes. Jury trials in civil cases. Limitations of bail and punishment. The Ninth Amendment. Rights kept. The Bill of Rights are the first 10 amendments of the US Constitution. And these are some more firearms I did when I was 16. This is a Carter's revolver cowboy gun. And this is a MAC-10 submachine gun. And this is a pump action shotgun. Over here, I did a drawing of the Hoover Dam in Arizona. And he was the vice president at the time, Joe Biden. Vice President, January 20th, 2009 to 2017. So I did this sketch when he was still vice president under Obama, vice president. So I'm surprised I wrote on 2017. I'm surprised I didn't write down from Jan 20th, 2009 to president or current. Because he was the current vice president at the time. And this is a map of the United States. And well, the blue states as Democratic states and the red states as Republican states. And even drew the Rhode Island flag. And at the time, Florida was the only state I visited, but 3 years later, I also visited New York City, which is obviously located in the state of New York. And also did this Space Needle in. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you, that's 94 UK. I heard when I was about 20 that UK changes the constitution every couple of years. Here's a drawing I did of AR-15, drawing I did of a 44 Magnum revolver. And here's the Simpsons shirt I did on the 9th of September 2013. I did these drawings when I was 16. I'm showing you all drawings I did when I was a teenager. This is part 1 on a YouTube live stream. Yeah, I did all these drawings when I was 16. And there's Francine from American Dad as a cheerleader. And there's Bart Simpson holding a book, 100 Classic Pranks. And I got this book at my school library at the time. And here's a drawing I did as Homer begging like a dog. And there's Hayley Smith as a stripper. And there's Bart Simpson. And there's Revolver. Smith and Meston called Python. And there's a Mac 10. And this is a 4th of July sketch I did. And there are a set of fireworks on 4th of July. And there's an Alabama flag I did when I was 16. And there's a Desert Eagle 50 gold Magnum. Welcome into my live stream. I'm showing you all the people of YouTube drawings I did live. Drawings I did when I was a teenager. And these are drawings I did with age between 15 to 17 in this sketchbook from 2013 to 14. But most of these are drawn when I was 16. And there's Lisa Simpson covering her head. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you, Das94 UK. This is the Alaska flag I did, and there's Homer Simpson holding some corn. And here's the Texan flag, and the flag was adopted in 1839. Now, see, 1845 and 1849. Must have made an error there, and it was actually 1839. And there's the Arizona state flag. And there's the back of the $1 bill. It's got the Illuminati symbol on the back. And at the time, I was very interested in the Illuminati back when I was 15, 16. And there's Bart Simpson with a real cookie and with a dog's cookie. I bet he's giving Homer it. And there's Peter Griffin doing an exam. And there's Hayley Smith from American Dad, Steve Smith, an AK-47 with a scope. And there's Steve Smith with an AK-47 assault rifle. And there's Steve Wiggum with a revolver in police mode. And there's Glenn Quagmire in his underwear. And there's Stewie Griffin from Family Guy. And there's Lois Griffin pretending to be someone else. And did this drawing on October 11th, 2013. And this here is my first ever drawing of Bob from Bob's Burgers. And I've drawn a lot more Bob's Burgers drawings in more recent years. But this is the first one ever from 2013 I did when I was 16. And this is a sketch I did of Wally or Waldo, what Americans say, what Americans call him. And this is a drawing I did of a horse. And this is a drawing I did of Paid's rate with 2 cartridge revolvers. And I had a crush on this celebrity from this gun show back when I was 16. And see as yeah, no wonder I had a crush on her all the time. This is a hot blonde gun lover. Peter Griffin with Stewie Griffin, and there's Lois Griffin as a model from Family Guy, and there's a Luger 22 I sketched at the time. And here's a drawing I did of Meg Griffin, a drawing I did of Peter Griffin, and here's a drawing I did of a submachine gun MP7. And here's a shotgun, Remington 870, and here's a drawing I did of M4. Here's a drawing I did of Roger from American Dad, and here's a sketch I did of Not sure. I like Drew Barrymore. Who also I like? And I like Ashley Tisdale. I had a crush on Ashley Tisdale since I was 17. And when I was 18, I had a crush, 18 and 19, I had a crush on Fergie. And there's a Glock 34. And there's Brian from Family Guy. And there's Stewie from Family Guy. Welcome into my live stream. I'm showing you all on YouTube drawings I did when I was a teenager. And this is part 1. I'll be showing you doing a part 2 live as well. And here's a drawing I did of saying Happy Labour Day. I might have done that during Labour Day when I was 16. All these drawings I'm showing you now currently are sketches I did when I was 16. I used to do a lot of drawings of guns back when I was 16 and 17 as well. And there's Francine Smith in Hot Clothes. And that's obviously Klaus looking at a chest. You know what he's looking at. And this is a drawing I did of Hershey Chocolate Build, main entrance in Hershey, Pennsylvania, USA. And there's a drawing I did of Sex Bonus Francine. And here's a drawing I did of Francine, 2 Francine ones, and Hayley in sexy clothing. And here's a drawing I did of Hayley in bed with this Arab guy. And there's I did of Hayley showing just dancing in underwear when she's in Saudi Arabia, from the Saudi Arabia episode. And so this episode, this one's from the Saudi Arabia episode as well, from volume 1. And there's Hayley Smith with an AK-47, a drawing I did when I was 16. And I did this drawing from a Christmas episode. It must have been during Christmas time or near Christmas time I did these. Here's some more firearm drawings I did. Here's a drawing I did of the 26th President, Teddy Roosevelt. Here's a drawing I did on the 25th of December 2013, Brian Griffin looking away from someone. And there's Francine Smith showing people privates. And here's a dime I drew. And here's Stan Smith looking at the crowd, and this was from a Christmas episode I did during Christmas time 2013. And this is the Arkansas state flag. And this is the Boston Bridge in Boston, Massachusetts. 2 years later, when I was 18, I went to Riga, Latvia, and there was a bridge that looked very similar to the Boston Bridge. I never visited Boston, but I visited New York 3 years after I did these drawings when I was 19. And there's Haley with someone. Must be boyfriend. And there's a M16 with a scope. Hey, welcome into my YouTube live. I'm showing everyone of YouTube drawings I did when I was a teenager, and this is part 1. All these drawings I'm showing you now are drawings I did when I was 16. As you can plainly see, I used to do a lot of Family Guy and American Dad drawings, but I could download it now, and same with the guns. It's been months or possibly a year or so since I last done a drawing on firearm. This is an AK-47 with a drum magazine, MP40, 22 Magnum revolver, Peter Griffin crying, Homer Simpson, Jack Stan's dad in prison, Ronald Reagan, he's my favourite president here is Ronald Reagan and Abraham Lincoln, favourite US presidents. Here's Lady Liberty, Ford Mustang, Bart Simpson, John F. Kennedy, another brilliant US president, Wyoming flag, map of New York State, my favourite US state, American bald eagle, Statue of Liberty. And there's comic book guy from The Simpsons, 2008 Jaguar XK8 UK, Colorado flag, Red Bee revolver, Lamborghini, Homer Simpson. Well, you can tell he's not feeling happy with he's looking confused with his face so expressing. And there's Stan and Francine kissing, 44 Magnum AK-47 drawing. Here's a drawing I did of a lion on Monday, the 2nd of December of 2013. I did these drawings when I was 16. Apu on the phone, the Quickie Mart, Tennessee state flag. Welcome into my live stream. I'm showing everyone of YouTube drawings I did when I was a teenager. There's Dr. Zoidberg from Futurama. There's Stan and Francine from American Dad. Here's a drawing I did of an AK-47 with a scope. And here's a drawing I did of Alicia Cuthbert Hot from American Dad. And there's Steve from American Dad. And there's Francine looking disgusted. And there's Stan and Francine in bed. And I did this drawing on December 18th, 2013. And there's a drawing I did of a Thompson submachine gun. Here's a drawing of Bart Simpson holding the Daily holding a newspaper. I think I did this from a comic book when I was at my secondary school. Stan and Francine. Oh wait, I'm going backwards. Mr. Burns. Did this drawing on December 19th, 2013. And there's British Peter Griffin from Family Guy. And there's Francine Smith as Sex Porn. And there's Francine with George Clooney. And he's trying to break his heart on this American Dad episode. And here's a drawing of a cool M1911. Welcome into my live stream. I'm showing you all on YouTube drawings I did when I was a teenager. And this is part 1. And these drawings here I did when I was 16. There's Professor Frink, December 26, 2013. And this is the Chrysler building. I went in this building 3 years after I did this drawing when I was 19. And here's a drawing I did of a 10mm M1911 with a scope. And here's a drawing I did of an AK-74U. And here's a drawing I did of the Washington DC flag and the Lincoln Memorial in Washington DC. I did this drawing on December 29th, 2013. And here's a drawing I did of Sideshow Bob and a Ferrari. And here's a drawing I did of the 5th President, James Monroe. And I did this drawing on December 31st, 2013. And here's a drawing I did of a Lamborghini. Also did on December 31st, 2013. Here's a drawing I did of Cleveland from the Cleveland Show. And here's a drawing of Peter Griffin being drunk. And I did this drawing on January 1st, 2014. And here's a drawing I did of Francine with a firearm. Francine, American Dad. I did this drawing on December 3rd, on Tuesday, 2013. And here's a drawing I did of Paris Hilton Hall, and Jessica Alba. And here's a drawing I did of President Gerald Ford and a Newsday Revolver magazine. I didn't do any of these drawings at 17. Most of them I did, almost every single drawing I did here I did when I was 16. Well, the first ones I showed you early on in the sketchbook I did when I was 15, going on 16. Tatiana from The Simpsons, Lois Griffin drawing I did of Audi, and some more American Dad drawings here. I did this one of Klaus on January 9th, 2014. This drawing here of Francine I did on January 9th, 2014. And here's a drawing of what, and even got the time sketching. 7:25 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. That is. Thank you so much for liking the live stream. Wednesday, January 22nd, 2014. And here's some more drawings I did. The Stars and Stripes, since I love America. I loved them. I wonder a bit of who's America fan since primary school, elementary school, if you're American and Canadian watching this. Third Day 5 celebrating the new year going into the 21st century. Or as he thought, he knocks his head, ends up in the 30th century. Celebrating the new year. Bender from Futurama. Did this drawing on January, that should have said 2014, January 10th, 2014, at the Long Eaton School Library. Even got down the location where it gets it, so this is great history for you. I'm 28 now. These are old drawings I did when I was a teenager. I'm doing part 1 on this live stream. This is Alaskan Mountains. And this is a drawing I did of a Diet Pepsi can. I did this drawing on Sunday, January 12th, 2014 in my house. And this is a drawing I did of Lower Manhattan. And I did this drawing at 16. And about 3 years later, when I was 19, I actually visited New York City. And I stayed here. I don't think this hotel was there at the moment, but I had the perfect view of Manhattan. It was the best vacation ever. New York City is the best place in the world, in my opinion. New York's definitely the greatest city in the world. Ned Flanders from The Simpsons. American Assault Rifles. Here's a drawing I did of an AK-10. So, OG, Bunny Lover, which country are you from? AR-15. Are you from Long Eaton? Your accent is kind of funky, I can't place it. All I'm going to say is I'm from the East Midlands. I'm not going to pinpoint where I'm exactly from for security reasons here on YouTube. (6:08 p.m. Wednesday, January 15th, 2014. I did this drawing of a Thompson submachine gun. Space Needle in Seattle, Washington State. George Washington, the first US president drawing. I did this drawing here of oil bearing rocks beneath the golf course in Houston, Texas. I did this, it was done this at the same date, on January 15th, 2014. Here's a Woolworth building in New York, New York. I did at 2:40 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Oh, that's alright, it's a British accent. I'm a fast talker, and again, I'm on the spectrum. But when I was a teenager, and even in my early 20s, I didn't accept my autism because I didn't want to be different to other people. But it wasn't until I was about 24 I finally accepted who I was and accepted my autism, because it's just part of who I am after all. On Wednesday, January 15, 2014, USA. Oh yeah, USA car, 1997 to 24. I did this in a magazine or car book in my secondary school, high school. Charlotte Cavoot. Are you American or the OG Bunny Lover? Oh yes, this way. Oh wait, no, it's this way. So many pages in this art book. And here's a drawing I did of 727 Air France. And there's 3 engines all the back of the aircraft. And this is a drawing I did for Score Hate. I think this is a firearm that's from one of the Call of Duty games. And there's Maggie from a parachute. And here's a drawing I did when I was 16 in early 2014 of the Liberty Bell in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA. The bell broke in 1835. I'm glad I had some information in there. And there's another drawing I did of Rilo from the Cleveland Show. And here's a drawing I did of a Mazda, which is built in Japan. And here's a drawing I did of a New York cab. And here's a drawing I did of Penny from the Big Bang Theory on January 22nd, 2014. My first ever drawing of Penny I did when I was 16. And 3 years later, when I was 19, she became my celebrity crush. And here's a drawing I did of Hugo Bard's from one of the Treehouse of Horror episodes from The Simpsons. And there's Ralph Wiggum from The Simpsons. And there's Marge Simpson looking worried by a lettuce he found. Some nose python. I did this drawing on January 20th, 2014. Nothing to do with The Simpsons, because one of my teachers at school thought this was something to do with The Simpsons. It was on the same page with 3 Simpsons characters, so I just had to write that down so people wouldn't get confused. Here's a drawing I did at 11:15 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time on Friday, January 24th, 2014, that is, of an M16 assault rifle, the same type of, oh no, it's the M16 the US military use. And here's a drawing of Cleveland Brown Jr. speaking to Cleveland while he's having a bath. And here's a drawing I did of a Cub revolver in a holster. And here's a drawing I did of Bender from Futurama. And here's a drawing I did of a double barrel lend pistol from 1763, so mid 18th century. And here's a drawing I did of Hey Retit. And here's a drawing I did of the Freemason symbol. See a Jack Jones bit. I don't understand that. A dagger. Here's a drawing I did of the Pentagon. And I remember being in class at school and I did this drawing. The Pentagon in Washington, D.C. And this is some nose python drawing I've drawn. Oh, wait, it's this way. And here's a drawing I did of the Statue of Liberty in New York. And here's a drawing I did of the Thomas Jefferson Memorial in Washington, D.C. And here are some Cleveland Show drawings I did. Terry, one of Cleveland Brown's neighbours. Cleveland and Donna, and Cleveland and Donna's daughter, Roberta. It's like if I'm going the right way or not. Yeah, this is the right way. Here's a drawing I did of Joel Swanson from Family Guy. The Confederate flag. And from The Simple Life. I drew this when I was 16, so it was years ago. I was just because I'm interested in American history. So I drew when these celebrities were born. Paris Hilton was born on February 17th, 1981. And Nicole Richie was born on September 21st, 1981. So both the same year. In 1981. And here's a drawing I did of Death Vista from American Dad. And here's a drawing I did of Beavis from Beavis and Butthead. And here's a drawing I did of the Hawaiian flag. And here's a drawing I did of the Ohio flag. Oh wait, I'm going the wrong way. Here's a drawing, Animal Farm Pig. Did a drawing of Animal Farm Pig after watching it at school at the time. And here's a drawing I did of Tim the Bear from the Cleveland Show. And here's a drawing here I did of the California flag. I showed some more recent Californian drawings of a Californian flag. It just takes history of getting the knack together to improve your artwork. And here's a drawing I did of the California. Here's the actual Californian flag I have in my room now. It was something in Washington, his school, I think. No, I didn't go to school in Washington. I went to school in the UK. And here's a drawing of a Lamborghini. All these drawings I did when I was at school because I was a teenager when I did all these drawings. Budgeter's Red Dream. And I did this drawing on. I'm so glad I have the dates. So I can look back on exactly when I did these drawings. On March 10th, 2014. And this is a drawing I did of the Washington State flag. And this is the only state flag with a green background. And here's a drawing. I remember doing this drawing back when I was a teenager. The Red Bull, Steve's dream sign to Lucid Dream. Steve's Lucid Dream, American Dad. And there's Steve with one of her crushes, Amy. Hello, everyone of the internet. I'm showing you all drawings I've done when I was a drawing on a YouTube Live. I was going to do this as a regular YouTube video, but it's due to how long these videos are going to be anyway, it's better to do them as a live stream. And here's the Mississippi flag. This is what it looked like this time. They only just recently changed it. And also have the state capital listed. Capital Jackson, Mississippi flag. And I did this drawing on March 21st, 2014. And this is the Aqua Juice bottle I drew at the time. I was a copied. And this is a Grand Theft Auto 5 beat scale. And this game came out when I was when I was 16. So I did this drawing not long after it came out. And this is a drawing I did of Trevor from Grand Theft Auto 5. I did this drawing on March 23rd, 2014. And this is the art in St. Louis, Missouri. And this is the North Carolina flag. And I didn't write down the capital, but the capital is... No, that's not the White House. That's the art in St. Louis. It's the White House in Washington, D.C. Emerald Armstrong. The capital is Wiley. And here's a drawing I did of Nico Bellic from Grand Theft Auto 4. And I love Grand Theft Auto 4 since it's set in Liberty City. Grand Theft Auto's version of New York City. And here's a drawing of Butters from South Park, The Stick of Truth. Here's a drawing I did of Steve feeding Crouch from Family Guy. Okay, That makes sense, but it was cool. I don't know what it was. Thank you so much. I'm pleased to hear that. Here's a drawing of Teeth Wiggum from The Simpsons, Eric Corman from South Park, and Kyle from South Park. Been watching South Park ever since I was 13. And here's a drawing I did of, what did it say? Deer Valley Ski Resort in Utah. Oh yes, this way I'm going. And this is a Colorado welcome sign. It says here, welcome to colourful Colorado. And here's a drawing I did of Paris Hilton as a South Park character on Wednesday, April 2nd, 2014. And here's by Emily. Thank you so much for watching my live stream. I really appreciate it. And here's a drawing I did Epic Carmen. Here's a I wrote on fail at the time when I was 16. It's a cool Xbox fail, and so did my friends, because we were both PlayStation buddies and we didn't like Xbox. I did have an Xbox back when I was 12 to 13 or 14, but that was years ago. Here's a drawing of Rainy Wolfcastle, and there's Board Thinking He's Strong. I did this drawing on April 11th, on Friday, April 11th, 2014. Welcome into my live stream. I'm showing you all drawings I did when I was a teenager. Almost every single drawing I've done in this art book, I did when I was 16. During my school years. And this is a drawing I did of a Vecna SMG. I drew this drawing on Monday, April 14th, 2014. And this is a 12th grade shotgun. I used to do a lot of drawings of guns back when I was 16, 17. And here's a Colt New Agent M9 9mm M1911. And here's a drawing I did of Cleveland from the Cleveland Show. And here's a drawing I did of a Glock 26. And here's a drawing I did of Roger from the Family Guy, Family Land episode from American Dad. I did this drawing on April 12th on a Saturday. So I was drawing the weekend when I did this drawing. I probably did it at home. I'm just going to have a sip of tea since all this talking is making me feel thirsty. So here are two more American Dad drawings to show you. And there's Steve talking to Stan, pretending to be this hot girl. Did this American Dad drawing on Thursday, April 17, 2014. And there's Barry, one of Steve's friends, AK-47. I'm just gonna like talk less. I did all these drawings when I was 16. And this is a drawing I did of the island of Manhattan and the northwestern United States. Welcome into my live stream. So all drawings I did when I was a teenager, going back into the archives. I did all these drawings here when I was 16. Almost every drawing in this art book I did when I was 16. And 666 Freemason, someone at school told me about this. And that's the Freemason symbol. And I did this drawing on May 5th, 2014. I got like really interested in Freemasons 2 years later when I was 18. And there's Lois Griffin and Bill Clinton in bed from one of the episodes of Family Guy, and this is from American Dad. Simpsons drawn here. Nelson. No, oh, fuck, what's his name again? Can somebody leave a comment what his name is? I can't remember what his name is. Martin, yeah, Martin Prince. Welcome into my live stream. These are drawings I did when I was a teenager. This is a live stream, part 1. And I did this drawing here when I was 16 on May 10th, 2014 on a Saturday. And it's drawn Brian Griffin with Lois. And did this, copy this drawing from my Family Guy DVD I had at the time. And there's Son and Francine from American Dad. Remember doing this drawing back when I was 16. Abraham Lincoln getting assassinated by John Wilkes Booth. A drawing I did on Sunday, May 11th, 2014. And there's John Wilkes Booth assassinating Abraham Lincoln at the movie theatre. Welcome into my live stream. And there's Meg. This is a drawing I did years ago, back in 2014, Meg's Cross and Brian, and there's Brian sliding last slide Dillian. And I remembered I did this from a Family Guy DVD that I still have to this day. This drawing of George Bush Sr. on Sunday, May 18th, 2014. When I was 16, 17, when I was 3 and 15, 16, 17, I was very fascinated by US presidents. And I used to do a lot of drawings of presidents at 15, 16, and 17 when I was those ages. And this is a duck beer kind of dude on May 19th, 2014. And this is a drawing I did of a sports car. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, these. There's a drawing I did of President Bill Clinton. I did this drawing on Monday, May 19th, 2014. And he was the 22nd President of the United States of America. Welcome to my live stream, everyone. I'm showing you all drawings I did when I was a teenager. And I did most of the drawings I did in this whole book, I did when I was 16. And there's a Homer J. Simpson holding a rock in his hand. Probably Ronald Reagan or Abraham Lincoln or John F. Kennedy. Who's your favourite president, Jas? 94 UK. And there's Al Gore as a Futurama character. And Al Gore was vice president under President Bill Clinton, and he ran for president in the year 2000 against George W. Bush when he was the governor of Texas. But he got the popular vote, Al Gore, and George W. Bush won by winning the popular vote. So that's how Bush became president and not Gore. And Bush served 2 terms as president. Professor Farnsworth Joyner did on May 24th, 2014. On a Saturday. Who's your favourite president? Jas 94 UK. And there's Francine Furtin with someone at a stand. And there's Francine in hot clothes from season 1. And this is a drawing I did, a little rock flag I drew on Saturday, May 21st, 2014, when I was 16. Here's a drawing I did of President Jimmy Carter, his statue from The Simpsons. I did this drawing on Wednesday, May 28th, 2014, and there's Bob with a Slushy, and there's President Bill Clinton as Simpsons character. Welcome into my live stream. I'm showing you all drawings on a YouTube live. Yeah, Donald Trump's an awesome president as well. Welcome in, Sophia Maguire. I'm showing you all drawings I did when I was a teenager, Paul Warren, on a YouTube live stream. I was going to do this a long form YouTube video, but it's better to do it as a live stream, especially how long it's going to be. And this is M70 assault rifle. I did most of these drawings when I was 16. And this is a patriotic M1911. I did this drawing on Tuesday, June 10th, 2014. And there's Amy and Leela kissing fly from Futurama. And I did this drawing on. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. On Tuesday, June 3rd, 2014. These are drawings I did when I was 16. And this is John Hinckley from American Dad. Yeah, I am a boy. And there's Chelsea, who fancies Steve on one of the episodes of American Dad. So Sophia, you weren't able to tell whether I was a boy or a girl. And this is a drawing I did of AK-47. Yeah, I agree, that term was great. I was 19 when he was elected president in 2016, Donald Trump. And I was definitely supported it. Hoped he was going to get elected president in 2016, back when I was 19. So that was 2 years after these drawings. Was 16 got on 17 when these drawings when Obama was president. Thompson's submachine gun. And there's Stan and Francine from American Dad. And there's a drawing I did of redneck Peter Griffin. So this is what I look like, dude. There's Peter Griffin. I did this drawing. Yeah, same. Good on you, the US. Certainly is indeed. On Monday, June 16th, 2014. And here's a drawing of Francine after she was released by a kidnapper, or just after she was kidnapped, and there's a kidnapping. Thank you so much, Cookie Monster Sam. I really appreciate it. And you should see my most recent drawing, because these are drawings I did when I was 16. I improved a lot since then. And I did this drawing on Tuesday, on June 19, 2013 on a Thursday. No, I'm not Jewish, but I am interested in Judaism. And there's a drawing I did of Drunk Haley from American Dad. I did this drawing of on June 22nd, 2014. And this is a drawing I did of a SG 553R assault rifle. And this is a drawing I did of Amy's Bread in Manhattan, New York, in New York City. And this is a drawing I did of Haley with a Mexican boyfriend I did on July 5th, 2014 in Greece. I did this drawing in Greece. Thanks, pal. Quote used by Jesse James in the 19th century. Thanks, pal. It is awesome. I was very fascinated by Judaism when I was 13. And also when I was 20 as well. Here's a drawing I did of a water PPK on July 10th on a Thursday, 2014, when I was in Greece when I was 16. And this is a drawing I did of Hercules from American Dad on July 8th, 2014. Must have also done this in Greece as well. And here's a drawing I did of a Ford SUV. Here's a drawing I did of Hermes Comrade being naked from Futurama. And there's Amy Wong, the Asian Martian girl. And here's Roberto, a drawing I did on Saturday, July 12th, 2014, just after I came back from Greece. I did this drawing when I was back in England. And here's a drawing I did of Belfry, Dr. Doofenshmirtz. Just what comes to mind, I'm very fascinated by cartoon characters. At the moment, the main thing I draw cartoon characters. I'm back when I was 16, I think I might have been 17 when I did this, either 16, 17. I did a mix of cartoon characters and firearms and US presidents. And there's Kith with Amy since they were boyfriend and girlfriend at the time. And here's a drawing I did of on July 18, 2014, so I was still 16 when I did this drawing, of a Walther PK380. And this is when they had all these names on the bottles in England. And this is a drawing I did of the name Lisa. And this is a drawing I did saying Sir Cog with Amy, Sir Cog with Lisa. And there's some more American Dad drawings. I haven't drawn many American Dad drawings recently. I need to go back to drawing them more often. They're made by American Dads, made by the same money made Family Guy, Seth MacFarlane. And here's a drawing I did of an M19 Beretta I did on July 23rd on a Wednesday 2014. And here's a drawing I did of Sir Cog with Haley. Here's a drawing of I did from the American Dad episode from Volume 2, or might have been the end of Volume 1 where Steve thought he was adopted. So that is Steve kissing his sister Haley, not realising it's his Caesar sister. And this is from the Coke bottles at the time. Sir Coke Zero with Amy, Sir Coke Zero with Haley. And here's a drawing of one of Lisa Silver's friends, Amy, driving a sports car. And here's a drawing I did of a Coca-Cola bottle saying Sir Diet Coke with Haley. And here's a drawing of Haley Smith. This is some more American Dad drawings I did. This is Jeff and Haley kissing on a nude beach. Hello, these are doing this live stream on YouTube, and I did all these drawings when I was a teenager. There's a part 1 live stream for you all. And my YouTube channel is all about my artwork, Instagram Artistic James. And there's Dan and Haley drunk from American Dad drawing I did. The ones I did when I was 18 because they improved. I haven't got there yet. The drawings I did when I was 17 and 18 in this book. The ones I'm going to show you after I've done these and that isn't many more pages yet. I'm just going to quickly go by them. Did these drawings at 17. The first ever Modern Family drawings. Okay, now these drawings are over. So some art I did in here. This is a drawing I did. I think it was for my RB course at school. Golden Temple for Seekers, and I'm fascinated by religion. I think I'm converting to Buddhism. I went to a Buddhist temple last year, or it might have been the year before. No, it was last year. Okay, now I'm going to show you the drawings I did when I was 17, 18. These are my first ever drawings I did in here. Bender from Futurama, Bart from The Simpsons. I did these drawings on Monday, December 1st, 2014, drew by me. Glenn Quagmire from Family Guy with a B, and also did these made-up characters as well, of George Sidney, and Sidney created by me, James Wan. And these are some more drawings I did of President and Vice President Al Gore, Vice President under Bill Clinton, and Clinton served 2 terms of president. And when I was 15, 16, and 17, I used to really be fascinated by US presidents, so do a lot of drawings of them. 42nd President Bill Clinton, 20th President James A. Garfield, the 11th President James K. Polk, and here's some drawings of Family Guy, Simpsons characters, Bart Simpson doing his work, and there's Bart Simpson doing his homework, President Ronald Reagan as a Simpsons character, Seymour Skinner. Did these drawings when I was 17. This is my first ever Ren and Stimpy sketch I did on December 20th, 2014. Here's a presidential candidate, Ross Perot, from 1992 and 1996 elections. Some more firearm drawings here, and here's a drawing I did of Stewie. This drawing on December 25th, 2014. Some more American Dad drawings here for you. Skip through them. Show some drawings I did when I was 18. Still 17. So my first ever, so one of my first Phineas and Ferb drawings. Drawing a Paris Hilton one for president. Trying to find my first ever Phineas and Ferb drawing. I think this is my first, this is my first ever Phineas and Ferb drawing. I'm drawing a Candice Flynn Rankin. I was 17 when I first got into Phineas and Ferb. There's first ever Ferb drawing, first ever Per the Platypus drawing. Some more American Dad drawings. Some more Ren and Stimpy drawings. I haven't drawn Ren and Stimpy drawings in years. I did these on January 9th, 2015. Phone needs swords in, everyone. Hey Daisy, I'm showing everyone my drawings I did when I was 16. Now I'm on my old book of drawings I did at 17 and 18. That's so small, my artwork. Some more American Dad drawings. Drawing I did at Albert Einstein on January 11, 2015. Drawing I did of the Prime Minister at the time. Our Prime Minister at the time, David Cameron. President Gerald R. Ford. President of the 70s, Bill Gates. Some more Phineas and Ferb drawings. I did these ones on July 11th, 2015. There's Lid Donna. And there's Ferb holding the British flag, since he's also British and so is the dad like I am. Thank you so much, I really appreciate it. Isabella, my first ever Isabella sketch, Per the Platypus, and my favourite Phineas and Ferb character, and still is my favourite Phineas and Ferb character, it's 17, 18, Candice Flynn. Here's some more Futurama drawings. I haven't done many Futurama drawings in years. Another drawing of Candice saying, Mom! It's always trying to bust Phineas and Ferb Candice. And that's the landscape past Colorado. And there's the Space Needle in Seattle, Washington. Texan map. Stars and Stripes. And seducing Seymour Skinner from The Simpsons. Stripper from one of the American Dad episodes. Glenn Quagmire, thanks so much for liking the live stream. Drawing I did of Duke from The Critic. Drawing I did of Jay from The Critic. Used to love watching the cricket when I was 17. I haven't watched this show in years. And it's set in New York City, my favourite city. My favourite place in America as well, New York City is. Pikachu and Vic Gitina. Jonah did a Ronald Reagan as a movie actor. And this drawing was done on July 19th, 2014. And this is Reagan as president, July 18th, 2014. I did a sketch. Welcome to my live stream. I'm showing you all drawings I did when I was a teenager. These drawings here I did when I was 17. And when I was 16, 17, 18, I did a lot of drawings of firearms, mainly at 16, 17. Here's a drawing I did of Perry. Here's a drawing of Phineas and Ferb drawing I did of Candace obsessed in love with Jeremy. I saw some people on my church youth club this sketch at the time. British Prime Minister Tony Blair's Simpsons character. Marty J's son from The Critic. American Dad drawings. Stan Smith did this drawing on February 3rd, 2015. And there's DJ Iron Monkey. And the episode where Haley became blonde. Did this drawing not long after the episode. And this is a drawing I did President George W. Bush as a Family Guy. American Dad character. I'm a huge fan of President Bush. And there's Winter Kansas, and there's Dr. Doofenshmirtz. A platypus, Barry the platypus. That's my first ever drawing of Dr. Doofenshmirtz I did at 17. And there's Bella Jess as a Fireside Girl. I'm a huge fan of Phineas and Ferb. Mo from The Simpsons. Vampire Mr. Burns. Homer Simpson as a superhero. And these are my first ever Kim Possible drawings I did at 17. I did this drawing on February 8th, 2015. And that's Tisdale, just a voice, same as Candace's voice. And there's Kamala. Oh, really? You became a fan of Phineas and Ferb at 17 as well. That's awesome. Ron and Kim Possible. And there's the Mallrats, Rufus. I haven't done any Rufus drawings before. Me 3. Awesome. Who's your favourite character in Phineas and Ferb? Maggie Simpson. Did this drawing on cartoon Mr. Bean on February 16th, 2015. King of Hill drawings. Did all these drawings on Monday, February 16th, 2015. And this was a TV show I liked at the time. Did some drawings here from 2D TV. It was a British show. UK Prime Ministers Gordon Brown and Tony Blair. Arnold with President Bush. Ferb, yeah, he's a good character. And here's the Conservative Tory Party symbol. And there's the Labour symbol, who are now in power. But at the time, doing this drawing, it was the Tories that were in power. Some more Phineas and Ferb drawings I did at 17. Did this from a DVD I had at the time. No longer have. Stacy, the Japanese girl from Phineas and Ferb. And there's Kansas with Jeremy. Someone I love for her. Welcome to my live stream, everyone. These are drawings I did when I was a teenager. Part 1. These drawings here I did when I was 17. This is a sketchbook of drawings I did at 17 and 18. And then what the Instagram symbol looked like at the time. Awesome. Vanessa Doofenshmirtz is a cool character. I'm not sure if I've done any drawings of Vanessa at 17, but I have drawn drawings of her recently. That was what the Twitter symbol looked like at the time, Facebook symbol. That was when Facebook was my favourite app. That was the old Twitter symbol and the new Twitter bird. But obviously Twitter is now known as X and has an X symbol after Elon Musk bought it. And then these drawings on Sunday, March 1st, 2015. And that was the Canadian Prime Minister at the time, Stephen Harper, who was a Tory. Did this drawing on March 6, 2015, and he was Prime Minister from 2006 to 2015, so for 9 years. Meg with a makeover. Nora Falls with the American and Canadian. Thanks, mate, I really appreciate it. I'm so pleased you love my old drawings I did when I was a teenager. My drawing of Lisa Simpson. Here's my drawing I did of Candace Flynn from Phineas and Ferb at 17. And here's my first ever drawing of Linda, and I have done a drawing of Megla Close. Awesome, thank you so much, Cookie Monster Tam, for subscribing to my YouTube channel. You're going to love my art post on here, just like on this live stream. Linda Flynn from Phineas and Ferb, first ever drawing of her. Here's a drawing I did of Canada and United States, my two favourite countries. And I did the Quebec flag for Quebec, the biggest province, as the second biggest province and the most populated province. Ontario, and there's Canada's most populated city, Toronto. And here's the Greenland flag, since that's still part of North America. I've been to the United States, how many times? 5 times, but I never visited Canada, and I had a huge crush on Ashley Tisdale at the time when I was 17. There's a Canadian flag, Ashley Tisdale, and she does the voice of Candace Flynn from Phineas and Ferb, which is awesome. And he also played Sir Pay Evans from High School Musical. Vincy Walkbell from, I'm not sure what he's from. It was a while since I drew it. I did this drawing on Saturday, 21st of March 2015. Some more Futurama characters. Dr. Zorberg, I did this drawing on July 21st, 2015. March 2015. Richard Nixon as a Futurama character, did this drawing on July 15, 2015. I'm going to skip over a few pages, get you some drawings I did when I was 18. And there's Jeb Bush, the 43rd governor of Florida, and he's George W. Bush's. That's awesome. 719 subscribers. So glad you appreciate me, everyone, and my artwork. Mark 10, May 19th, 2015, I did this drawing. And here's a drawing I did of Candice Flynn dressed for the beat and Fur Birkin and something. I did these when I was 17, these two drawings. Here's a drawing I did of Stan Smith for Lube. Hey Daisy, just book all your drawings. Thank you so much, Paul. Take care, Daisy. Did these drawings from Bicklebell. I used to do a lot of Bicklebell drawings when I was 17. And this is a drawing. I did a George W. Bush. I did this drawing on May 24th, 2015. And there's a drawing I did of Miss Springfield from The Simpsons. And I used to do a lot of Rick and Morty drawings at the time when I was 17. That's when I first discovered this show. I'm one of the first original fans of Rick and Morty. And this was for Memorial Day. I did that drawing. The Stars and Stripes. Barney Burpin from The Simpsons. Brian Griffin dressed posh from Family Guy. Skip a few pages. So my first ever drawing I did at 18. It was probably these drawings. These are drawings I did just after I turned 18. An alien with Haley's form. This episode came on in 2013. I did this one in August of 2015. Francine dancing on a cam in hot clothes. Bye, Paul. Thank you so much for watching my live stream and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate it. From the Saudi Arabia episode of American Dad. And this is when Inside Out, the first one first came out. These are my first ever drawings from Inside Out. There's anger from Inside Out and there's joy from Inside Out. Bye, Paul. And yeah, I was very religious at the time. These are drawings I did when I was 18, everyone, on YouTube. And I wrote these quote down from the American New King James Version. Jesus being baptized by John the Baptist. And here's a drawing I did on August 4th, 2014 of a Glock 24. An AK-47, I did this drawing on July 31st, 2015. And here's a drawing I did of the Buddhist Baptist symbol, Christian flag. Mr. Incredible and Just. These are probably the first drawings I did when I was 18. I did these drawings on August 12th, 2015. And here's a drawing I did of a $100 bill. I did on January 15th, 2016. And here's a drawing I did of Cinderella's castle in Magic Kingdom in Orlando, Florida. And did this drawing on August 14th, 2015. Thank you so much for all the likes, everyone. I really appreciate it. Stan Smith from American Dad did this drawing on August 18th, 2015. And here's a drawing I did of Lois in hot clothes from Family Guy. I did this drawing on August 21st, 2015. And here's a drawing I did of a Magnum revolver. Here's a drawing I did, another drawing I did of a Glock 17. I did this drawing of August 24th, 2015. And there's Haley with an handgun from American Dad looking pissed, meaning angry. Stan looking confused. And there's Haley and Stan and Avery Bullock, since Avery slept with Haley on this episode from Volume 1. And here's a drawing I did of AK-47. Did this drawing August 27th, 2015. And there's a drawing I did of Klaus from American Dad. I did this drawing when I was 18. And here's a drawing I did of Haley stripping at a strip club from American Dad. And here's a drawing I did of Stan from American Dad. And this is a drawing I did of this Republican politician, an 18-year-old Republican politician, Sarah Blair. And she was born the same year I was, so she would be 28 by now. Denzel from Brickleberry. And there he is. Yeah, go for it, Cookie Monster Tom. Just so you appreciate my artwork. Yeah, go ahead and take a picture of my artwork from this live stream. Yeah, so go ahead. Feel free to take a picture. It's on my artwork. I did this drawing on September 1st, 2015. Oh, wait, crap, I'm going the wrong way. This is a drawing I did of Haley. Hi from American Dad. And she's holding a sign up saying 2020. And there's a drawing I did of a Random Hot Blonde when I was 18. And here's a drawing I did of the Western United States. I drew the Arizona state flag for Arizona and the Californian flag over there. No problem, Cookie Monster Time. I'm always here to make my fans happy. And here's the stars and stripes in between the Western United States. And Western United States, they're like on Pacific time, 3 hours behind this time on the East Coast and 8 hours behind Greenwich Mean Time. Here's a drawing of Rich Stewie I did on September 9th, 2015. And here's a drawing I did of English Meg, and I did a drawing on September 8th, 2015. And here's a drawing I did of English Lois for one of the Family Guy episodes. And here's a drawing I did of a Mossberg pump action shotgun. And here's a drawing I did of a Dr. Pepper bottle. I drew this on September 16, 2015 from a Dr. Pepper drawing I drank. And this is a drawing, a sketch of New England, of all the states of New England, which of course are Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Boston, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and of course New England borders the state of New York and the nation of Canada. And this is a drawing I did of Homer Simpson looking field. And this is a drawing I did of Ethel with a bald eagle from Brickleberry. This is a drawing of Meg Griffin from Family Guy. I did copy this from my Volume 1 Family Guy DVD. Yes, draw coconut for you. But in this live stream, I'm just showing you my artwork. But I'll definitely draw coconut for you in my next live stream. Or I might do a drawing of a coconut for you and then post it as a YouTube short. And there's Haley the Monkeys from American Dad. Copy this from one of my DVDs as well when I was 18. Yeah, so I'll do that for you on another live stream. In this live stream, I'm just showing you my old artwork. I'm not doing any drawing requests. If that's alright. So there's another drawing I did at 18 at the end of 2015 on the North Dakota flag. And here's a drawing I did of a Minion car. I haven't done Minion drawings in years. I was a big fan of the Minions at the time. I did some when I was 19 as well. When I was at art college in 1920. And I did this drawing on September 24th, 2015. And this is a drawing I did of the Washington Memorial with the Capitol building in the background. And there's a drawing of I did a United Airlines airplane. Did this drawing on September 22nd, 2015 as well as this Stewie as a hippie sketch from Family Guy. Oh wait, going the wrong way. Glad for understanding, Daisy. Here's a drawing I did of the Commonwealth. Let me screenshot this so on for you. Thank you so much for liking the live stream. So thank you so much for the likes for the lives and the tears. Hippie Minion Scattered It and Cole from Unigranders. I started watching the show at 18. I haven't seen it in years. And here's a drawing I did of for American Dad of Stan Smith with a 19-year-old college student Jess. That episode came on in 2008 and did this drawing in 2015. And there's a beaver from Happy Tree Friends. There's a drawing I did of the state of Arizona. I did this drawing on October 12th, 2015. And these are two soda cans I drew, Dr. Pepper and Coca-Cola. Did a sketch on October 7th, 2015. A drawing I did of a Glock 18. Yeah, sometimes I do drawings of the Air Force. And there's Dipper from Gravity Falls. That's my first ever sketch of Dipper from Gravity Falls. Which is a Disney TV show. Do a lot more Gravity Falls drawings now. And I did this drawing when I was 18. Because these are, in this art book, these are drawings I did when I was 17 and 18. Like the ones mainly drawings I did at 17 and near the end. The drawings I did all when I was 18. I did this in the start of 2017. Yeah, I thought you can go back through my live stream and see the Jones run of some shotguns. Did this from Family Guy. Russ Mount Moore. This is the one I did at 18. Sorry, the Mount Rushmore drawing I did at 16. How much I improved over 2 years. Thanks. Yeah, this is the Mount Rushmore drawing I did at 16 up here in my overall book, and this is the Mount Rushmore drawing I did 2 years later when I was 18. Just look how much more detail the one I did at 18 is compared to the one at 16. Thank you so much, I really appreciate it. And there's Stewie from Family Guy, and Flipper from Happy Tree Friends. Used to watch this show when I was 18. And there's Lisa as the Statue of Liberty, and there's Angry Patriot for Scotland, really. I remember doing the sketch when I was 18. And there's Bob with a Thanksgiving turkey. I'm a vegetarian now, so I won't be eating turkey for Thanksgiving. But I celebrated my first ever Thanksgiving when I was 18. I did this drawing on November 27th, 2015 for Thanksgiving Day. These two. And there's Snot from the American Dad episode where he has a crush on Haley. And there's Mayor Quimby with a hot blonde from The Simpsons. And there's Bertram, Suey's stepbrother from Family Guy. And there's a Luger, a drawing I did on December 3rd, 2015. And there's Sideshow Bob after he captured Bart from The Simpsons. I did a drawing on January 5th, 2016. And here's a drawing I did of Roger dressed as a girl. And here's a drawing of Francine through the Black Friday sales, and did this drawing on November 28th, 2015. Thanks, Cookie Monster Tam. And here's a drawing I did of James Woods as Peter with a wrist sensor pump action shotgun. That was the episode where he stole Peter Griffin's identity. This was an episode from 2008, but I did this sketch in 2015, which was 7 years later. And this is just Gus from Inside Out. This is a drawing I did of a Ryanair aircraft. And this is for the drawing I did of a leprechaun. I did this drawing on Friday, December 4th, 2015. Here's a drawing I did here. Family Guy Chris with his cheetah. He fancied Miss Lockhart. Bye, Cookie Monster Tom. I'm glad you enjoyed my showing you my artwork when I was a teenager on this live stream. And thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. And there's Stan ripping down the Soviet Union flag from American Dad. And I did this from a coffee mug I bought when I was 18. And then this actually said this on the coffee mug, #Grow on Mondays. And there's Sadness from Inside Out. And here's a drawing I did of Riley with her mom ordering pizza. And there's a puberty button I sketched when I was 18 from Inside Out Fear. And here's another drawing I did. And there's Stan and Francine in bed on the end of the tearjerker episode of American Dad. And here's a drawing I did of the Japanese flag. I did this drawing on. Yeah, Sonny, do draw Inside Out characters. Especially did these drawings when I was 18. Remember, I'm showing you drawings I did when I was a teenager. These aren't recent ones, these are old drawings. But I still draw Inside Out drawings, Daisy. For sure, I still draw them sometimes. December 22nd, 2015. Mariah Carey using her magic wand to wake up Santa from All I Want for Christmas Is You. And this is during Christmas time, as you can plainly see. December 23rd, 2015, the day before Christmas Eve. And here's some more drawings for you. And this was just before Christmas. The wise men visiting baby Jesus. This is another drawing I did. Brian and Stewie as soldiers. This was the episode when they joined the military and were fighting in the Iraq War. And this episode came on in 2006 when Bush was president. But I did this drawing in December 2015 though. Or it might have been 2016, probably 2015. Yeah, this is my first ever drawing I did in 2016, Rapunzel. I did this drawing on January 1st, 2016. I did this drawing of Pascal on January 2nd, 2016 from Tangled. Decided to draw Tangled characters because I watched this movie, Disney movie, on New Year's Eve 2015. And I just fell in love with the movie, so I just had to draw them and Disney in general. So glad you like my Tangled drawings. Daisy, these are my first ever Tangled drawings, by the way. And these are my first ever drawings from Pinocchio. Pinocchio did this drawing on, Pinocchio drawing on January 5th, on a Tuesday, 2016. And there's a drawing I did of Donkey Transformation. I did this drawing on Wednesday, 6th of January, 2016. There's a drawing I did of Gemini Cricket. There's some more Tangled drawings I did for you. Drawing of Flynn Rider. Here's a drawing of Rapunzel taken prisoner by Marvel Gruffalo the Witch, where she was chained up by her. I did this drawing on Saturday the 9th of January 2016, and this is a drawing I did on Maximus. I did this drawing on Sunday, January 10th, 2016. They look so good. Can you make a video to teach us how to draw? So I'll do that for you. I made a YouTube video on some YouTube short on how to draw Candace from Phineas and Ferb from memory. And here's a drawing I did of M16A1. Here's a drawing I did of my first ever sketch of Nemo from Finding Nemo. And here's a drawing I did of Water PPK. These are my first ever Bolt drawings. Penny, Bolt himself. My current dog, Ragnar, is a white German Shepherd, just like Bolt. And I found out Bolt was a white German Shepherd when I was about 18 or 19. I think I was 18 when I found out. And there's Mittens, the cat from Bolt. These drawings on January 13, 2016. And here's a drawing I did of the planet Jupiter. And here's a drawing I did of brought as Hugo from one of the 2 episodes. And this is a drawing I did of Discuss from Inside Out from my pencil case I bought when I was 18. And these are my first ever drawing I did of Merida from Brave, the Disney Pixar movie. Welcome back, Cookie Muncher Sam. I'm about to end the live stream in a couple of minutes. This live stream's been on for 76 minutes now, and it's 12:26 AM Greenwich Mean Time here. My first ever Hotel Transylvania drawings. Did these drawings not long after I watched the movie. There's Dracula, there's Jonathan, and there's Mavis. And I did these drawings on January 17th, 2016. And here's a drawing I did of the South Korean flag. And there's a drawing I did of Jungle Street 14, and there, as you can plainly see. And here's a drawing I did of the Union Justice Conference. That's the Louisiana state flag. So are you all located in England or somewhere else with Greenwich Mean Time? And this Olaf drawing I did, my first ever sketch, Olaf from Frozen. And here's a drawing I did of a $1 bill, and it's B, but it's meant to be printed in New York, New York. And here's final sketches. All these drawings drew by James Moran, which is my name. Started on Monday, 1st of December 2014, and finished on January 21st, 2016 in the sketchbook. And here's one of my college friends. This was before I went to our college. This was when I went to my other college. I was at our college at 19 and 20, and I made a video about my artwork I did at our college. I put up one video. You can go and check it out on my YouTube channel if you like. Here's a drawing I did for my imagination. It was either I think I must have been 18 when I did this drawing. I don't think it was 19. I did this drawing in 2016 now. Just a made-up character from my imagination. Yeah, that's the end. Hope you enjoy my live stream, everyone. Stay tuned for more. Hit that notification button so you don't miss out on my future YouTube videos. My YouTube shorts, future YouTube shorts on my future live stream. So hit that notification button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Peace, everyone. Peace out.